Damn it, we should have intercepted them earlier, but now they have taken advantage and left directly. On the contrary, we have a powerful token but nothing to gain. If we leave here, the token will become invalid. Isn't it a waste of time? A young genius from the Kanchong Immortal sect was very unwilling. In fact, he was not the only one who was unwilling. The tokens in their hands were obviously stronger than those of the Red Soul sect's young master. Originally, Chu Feng didn't even need to take action. If they joined forces, they would be able to defeat everyone from the Red Soul sect with the power of the token. But now, they can only watch them leave. Shut up, Qin Zan shouted angrily, and then scolded. What are you complaining about? If it weren't for Brother Chu Feng, would you be able to obtain the power in this token? Sir, I don't mean to blame young Master Chu Feng. Alas, the man didn't know how to explain. Qin Zan seemed to understand his feelings, so he looked at Chu Feng. Brother Chu Feng, why don't you fight with them? Can you tell me now? Remember what I said at the beginning about the truth and falsehood? I didn't understand at first, but when the giant bird appeared, I understood. The wriggling of the power on them was the same as the fluctuations on the barrier gate. Brother Chu Feng, what does that mean? Qin Zan asked. To put it bluntly, they just fought for nothing, but wasted the power in the token in vain. Chu Feng said. Brother Chu Feng, do you mean that the power on the giant bird is useless? Did you deliberately lure them and waste the power of the token? Qin Zan asked. Yes. Chu Feng nodded. Hearing this, everyone showed joy on their faces. If it was really as Chu Feng said, then the young master of the Red Soul sect and his people would really lose a lot. Brother Chu Feng, the barrier gate is closed, and we can't step in for the time being. Yu Wenyan said. Hearing this, everyone looked over and found that it was indeed closed. The people who had just shown joy became flustered again. Okay, it's just temporarily closed, and will open again soon. Chu Feng said. At the same time, the enchantment gate with numbers engraved on it in the fighting arena where Jia Tianren and others were located changed. Then, a teleportation force covered the entire fighting arena, but did not leave the fighting arena. Instead, it gathered everyone at the other end of the fighting arena. At the same time, a translucent enchantment visible to the naked eye extended from the high platform in the middle of the fighting arena. The enchantment barrier divided the fighting arena into two. Then, one after another, figures began to quickly walk out of the enchantment gate. These figures just landed on the other side of the fighting arena. And when the last person flew out and landed on the ground, people finally understood the meaning of the number. It turned out that the number had no secrets, it was just the simplest meaning. Number of people. The number of people that appeared at this time just corresponded to the number on the enchantment gate. Aren't these a group of juniors? What is the meaning of this group of juniors appearing here? The age of gods and the outside world were boiling, and they were all puzzled. But people focused more on the young master of the Red Soul sect. Because the flag he held in his hand not only had the word, ancient, engraved on it, but also part of it was emitting a flame. The flame was like fire and blood, in short, it was very special. The younger generations were also a little confused when they entered this place. The young master of the Red Soul sect was the same, and he was observing around with puzzled eyes. Soon, he found a familiar figure in the distance, so he hurried over. Grandpa. But before he could get close to the invisible barrier, the barrier of the fighting arena stopped him. Grandpa, what's going on? Why are you here too? Is this real, or is it an illusion? This chapter of The Red Soul Sect, the young master asked in confusion. It's real, not an illusion. Where did the flag in your hand come from? Asked the leader of the Red Soul Sect. This is what I got in the world just now. Grandpa, in the space world just now, a large number of peers gathered, not only our ancient geniuses, but also those contemporary cowards. When we didn't know where to go, two flags appeared, one with contemporary and the other with ancient. The contemporary flag was assigned to the contemporary coward named Chu Feng. And this ancient flag was assigned to me. As for these people, they all need to make a choice, and can only choose between me and Chu Feng. Either you get nothing and you have to give up. Although the contemporary cowards are cowardly, they have good vision. Almost all of them chose to follow me. Only more than 300 people followed Chu Feng. Seeing his grandfather asking, the young master of the Red Soul sect did not hide anything and proudly narrated the story. More than 300 people. Hearing this, everyone couldn't help but look at the number on the barrier gate of the ancient martial arts arena. They seemed to understand the meaning of the number. Haha, you are worthy of being my good grandson. The leader of the Red Soul sect was also very proud at this time. But the contemporary martial artists were all embarrassed. If what the young master of the Red Soul sect said was true, it would be too embarrassing. How can the contemporary juniors follow the ancient juniors? Obviously, they also realized that the truth was not good, so the juniors of the Seven Realms Holy Palace knelt down in unison in the direction of Jia Tianren. Master Palace Master, we only had two choices at that time, one was to follow Chu Feng, and the other was to follow him. Of course we can't follow Chu Feng. In order to gain something later, we chose this ancient junior. The junior headed by the Seven Realms Holy Palace explained. Less than at the same time, other contemporary juniors were also explaining the reasons to the elders of their sects. Of course, most of them explained it secretly. After all, they didn't dare to follow Chu Feng, and they were afraid of the Seven Realms Saint Palace's revenge. It was not convenient to say it in public. After hearing the explanation, in fact, whether it was the Seven Realms Saint Palace or the juniors of other forces, they could understand it. It was just that at this time, they had already formed an opposition with those powerful people in ancient times. At this time, the fact that their own juniors followed other people's juniors was too ugly to be put on the table. Get up. Jia Tianren waved his hand, without blaming him, but asked, I want to know, is there one person missing among you? Master. He killed Jia Lu from my Seven Realms Saint Palace. The junior of the Seven Realms Saint Palace pointed to the young master of the Red Soul sect. You little beast, why did you hurt my people from the Seven Realms Saint Palace? Hearing this, although Jia Tianren did not speak, some powerful people from the Seven Realms Saint Palace looked at the young master of the Red Soul sect viciously. Hey! But the young master of the Red Soul sect, whose grandfather was present, was not afraid at all, but chuckled. That person was too talkative and made me unhappy, so I killed him. After all, I kindly accepted them, and they should be grateful. How dare they be rude to me? At this point, he looked at the juniors of the Seven Realms Holy Palace. Be thankful that you didn't even dare to fart when I killed him. Because if one of you dares to stand up and resist, you will all die. After the young master of the Red Soul sect said this, the people in the Age of Gods were fine and didn't dare to show it obviously. But outside the Age of Gods, all parts of the vast starry sky were already boiling. After all, his words were full of insults. He revealed that the juniors of the Seven Realms Holy Palace didn't even dare to fart when their own people were killed. This was simply a disgrace to the Seven Realms Holy Palace. No wonder people call the contemporary juniors cowards. If this is not cowards, what else is it? Don't panic, it's just the Seven Realms Holy Palace. With Grandpa here, they dare not do anything to you. The Red Soul sect's leader said. Grandpa, I know that I have never taken the Seven Realms Holy Palace seriously from the beginning to the end. But Grandpa, what exactly is this place? Why does it look like a fighting arena? The Red Soul sect's young master asked his grandfather. It's a fighting arena. I always thought that we would have a duel with these contemporary minions. But they divided us into different fighting arenas and we couldn't meet at all. Later, it was speculated that there would be formation monsters in the barrier gate, and the formation monsters are our opponents. But who would have thought that you would come out? And your number just corresponds to the number on the barrier gate. Now, your grandpa and I can't figure out the situation. The Red Soul sect's leader scratched his head while speaking. He was really a little confused. But upon hearing this, the face of the young master of the Red Soul sect changed drastically. Grandpa is in trouble. What? The leader of the Red Soul sect was stunned, his face full of confusion. Their opponents may really be us juniors. The young master of the Red Soul sect pointed to Jia Tianren and others at the other end of the arena and said, "Nonsense. You are just a bunch of juniors. Even if contemporary warriors are a group of minions, it is impossible to arrange you to be their opponents. This is not fair at all." The leader of the Red Soul sect shook his head. He felt that his grandson's idea was simply impossible. Grandpa. The young master of the Red Soul sect was about to explain, but changes came from the void. Rumble rumble. Accompanied by the roaring guidance that seemed to be a prompt, another beam of light flew down from the giant barrier gate above the starry sky. The beam of light fell in the middle of the arena, and on the high platform, it bloomed like a 1,000-meter-long flower. A closer look reveals that the outside of this thing is a layer of barrier power, but in the middle is more of a group of power, like blood and fire. That aurath flames and the flags behind the young master of the Red Soul sect seemed to be the same, but there were also obvious differences. Although the flames on the flag of the young master of the Red Soul sect were less, the concentration was obviously higher. It was not at the same level at all. Soon, the power of the barrier merged with the power. The next moment, the group of power erupted like a volcano, and all the power flew into the sky, then scattered and rushed towards everyone present. Everything happened too fast, and everyone couldn't dodge at all. In the end, the power was like armor, attached to everyone. This power. At this moment, everyone subconsciously cast their eyes on the high platform. They could feel that the heavy power attached to their bodies had reacted with the high platform. Obviously, if they wanted to climb the high platform, this power would be indispensable. However, Jia Tianren cast his eyes on the juniors opposite the fighting stage. Could it be that our opponents are really these juniors? Jia Tianren also felt incredible. He felt that the power was only attached to the surface, and the closest thing to them was the power of the barrier. The power of the barrier has a very strong protective effect, and even he cannot break it. Moreover, power can be taken away, but the power of the barrier cannot. This means that the power of the barrier is used to save lives. And the red aura connected to the platform on the outer layer of the barrier power can be snatched. At this moment, a beam of light was reflected on the platform, and a line of large characters appeared in the beam of light. The red aura is the key to opening the ladder. The thicker the aura, the stronger the ladder. The old and new generations can snatch it from each other. The font is huge and everyone can see it clearly. Seeing this font, everyone feels unbelievable. It turns out that the young master of the Red Soul sect was right. He really wanted the younger generation to fight against the older generation. Crazy. Really crazy. What is the purpose of the Age of Gods? Why did they have to have such a ridiculous fight? Before everyone could think about it, the characters returned to the platform along with the light column. The barrier that separated the arena also returned. At this time, there was no obstruction on the arena. The older generation and the younger generation were in the same area. Boom. And just as the barrier was retracted, a mighty barrier force rushed in like a huge wave. The speed was too fast. By the time people reacted, the barrier force had already covered all the younger generations. Is Jia Tianren, do you have any shame to attack the juniors? Seeing this, the leader of the Red Soul sect and many ancient masters pointed at Jia Tianren and scolded him. But Jia Tianren ignored them. He did not move at all. With just a thought, the majestic power of the barrier retreated back. But at the same time, the red flames that were originally attached to the juniors were also pulled away by him. However, when he passed the boundary line of the competition stage with the power of the barrier carrying the red flames, all the red flames fell on the high platform again. Just when Jia Tianren thought he had failed, the red flames that had just fallen on the high platform gushed out again and fell on everyone. But this time, it only fell on the strong men of their older generation. The geniuses of the younger generation did not get it. But it was not evenly distributed, and it seemed to be related to cultivation. In short, the red flames on Jia Tianren's body were the most vigorous, and it was a unique existence. Even the second best leader of the Kangchong Xian sect and the lord of the divine body Tianfu Palace could not compare to the red aura surrounding him. The flags behind the young master of the Red Soul sect fell apart, and even his bamboo hat fell off, revealing his slightly ordinary face, which was even aggrieved and full of tears. He stretched out his hand and looked helplessly at the leader of the Red Soul sect. Grandpa. The leader of the Red Soul sect was already furious, and even through the invisible barrier, he could feel his monstrous murderous intent. Jia Tianren, I never thought that you would really attack the younger generation. Since you are such a beast, I will tear you into pieces. The leader of the Red Soul sect gritted his teeth, but Jia Tianren was calm, and he didn't even look at him, but said lightly. The rules are like this, and I am just doing things according to the rules. If you don't accept it, go to the Age of Gods to ask for an explanation. Hearing this, the ancient masters became even more angry. But at this moment, the martial arts arena on their side also began to change. The initial changes were exactly the same as those of the contemporary martial artists. Then, the barrier gate on the opposite side of them was completely opened. One foot took the lead, and then a figure also walked out. Looking closely, everyone inside and outside the Age of Gods stared with their eyes wide open. This person was carrying a flag on his shoulder, and on that flag, the word, contemporary, was engraved. The most important thing is that the flag he was carrying was also wrapped in red flames. However, the flame wrapped around his flag not only covered the entire flag, but was also extremely thick and majestic, and was several times more than the flag of the young master of the Red Soul sect before. Even Jia Tianren, who had just obtained a large amount of red flames, was slightly inferior to the red flames on that flag. And this person carrying the flag was almost known to everyone present. The person who came, Feng.